So the truth is that you have been trying to smash. I have the proof.
She says she got the proof.
This is my first time actually reading the text, and I just feel like this is beneath me.
You said blank if we that's what that says. And now you going back on your word after I signed the release form for Cannon. I take you back to court. Don't play with me. You didn't ask me to cash app you no extra money towards the rent. I just did it out of the kindness of my heart because I knew you were behind trying to help you. That wasn't no extra money. That was what you're supposed to be giving me anyway since we agreed to whatever the number.
Kirk Frost seems to have cheated on Rasheeda once more in favor of Jasmine. Is it really true? And you can only image what Jasmine is anticipating again, as if we are stuck in a never-ending loop with these two after everything that Rasheeda and Drama Kirk have gone through. It would seem that things couldn't get any messier, but Rasheeda finally seems ready in this most recent dramatic show that has everyone talking, to conclude this chapter forever.
I ain't trying to do shit. You already know I'm not. Like when, where, how, when.
So where the rest of the text messages at so I can find out this information about what y'all agreed to?
Why are your text messages deleted?
What you mean? I don't even know what the was being said. I was frustrated. I might have thought about and I don't know if I sent the same day, the next day, I sent the money and did what I needed to do. That's it. I ain't do nothing else.
If you have been following Kirk and Rasheeda's relationship, you undoubtedly already know that their marriage has been an amazing journey. Everything that we have seen has been seen. Occur on Atlanta's Love Hip Hop. Kirk's infidelity scandalized Rasheeda, keeping her family intact in the midst of a crisis that hasn't ended. But this time around, Kirk's purported romance with Jasmine things in Washington have gotten pretty nasty. New degree and the reality that he's been seeing Jasmine again, but Rasheeda is done and over this, like she's given birth to her second child. Indubitably, a pivotal moment at the midway point of their marriage, Kirk has been caught up in the same awkward situation that previously caused their relationship to end. He is behaving as though he is the one who is sick of Rasheeda, rather than being sincere. After all these years of trying to make things work, can you imagine Kirk's facade? He has fully ended their marriage, along in an effort to conceal their affair, but Rasheeda isn't buying it this time. She is tired of hearing lies, and what she seems like she's ready to move on for outright. Let's rewind a little to give Kirk and Rasheeda more than 20 years of dating time. Years, and in the event that you've seen Love Hip Hop as you know, from the start of season 2, one of the biggest issues surrounding Atlanta has been Kirk's infidelity, which has become a recurring theme in their relationship. Since Rasheeda was pregnant, Kirk started acting weirdly in her favor instead of the other way around. He went so far as to accuse Rasheeda of lying, and he questioned if the child was that. In and of itself showed us how messy, as things started to become serious. A surprise surfaced that Kirk had lied to Rasheeda while traveling with a guy. We may all recall that time when he hooked up with many women during the scandal was huge when Rasheeda got home, and many people thought their marriage wouldn't last, but Rasheeda showed sorrow. Kirk lied to everyone, not just on this terrible fact, but also on the current situation in which Jasmine is embroiled in Washington. Again, Rasheeda, but to make matters worse, he had a close relationship with a stripper this time. Jasmine eventually became pregnant, and Kirk tried to hide the fact that, although being clearly linked to the kid, he had been acting that way for months. In the end, he was forced to take a DNA test, and he shocked everyone by revealing that he was the father of Jasmine. This almost brought an end to his marriage to Rasheeda, despite her repeated attempts to deny it. Rasheeda showed everyone how strong she was by giving Kirk another chance after everything he went through with her, but Kirk doesn't appear to have learned his lesson at all, and here we are again just when we thought Kirk had turned a new leaf, as rumors started to spread that he was secretly observing Jasmine behind Rasheeda's back once more. Jasmine surprisingly announced that she was expecting Kirk's as a child. It felt like you were watching the same scenario twice over and over again. People were shocked once more, and Rasheeda couldn't believe it either, to be honest. Everything that happened with Jasmine still, That was the first time Kirk had returned, and made the same mistake that this report revealed. Even though Rasheeda is usually severe, this time she's approaching it differently.
That posting things on Instagram probably isn't the most grown thing to do. All I've ever wanted was this kind of communication that I'm having with Rasheeda. And up until now, Kirk has painted her out to be the bad guy, and I'm not buying it.
Rasheeda was obviously heartbroken to hear of the pregnancy. Who wouldn't be? Staying by Kirk's side a number of times, infidelity. This was almost perfect. Betrayal, yet this is what raising really is. Refusing to accept Kirk's explanations, though she might have tried to find a way to let him leave or a method to keep things going, she's tired of hearing lies and has a history of drama. This time it seems unique that Rasheeda has completed positioning, but what about Kirk's mess instead? He has been trying to paint himself as the victim in these activities by, in this case, he is trying to give the idea that there isn't a serious affair with Jasmine by telling others that he hasn't been happy in his marriage for a long time. But in all honesty, we all know that's just his strategy for evading disclosing Kirk's dilemma once more and trying to make it seem unimportant. It's classic Kirk, pretending to be unhappy for years while in reality, he just doesn't want to in an effort to avoid responsibility. Acknowledge that Rasheeda has been duped. Again, but this time Rasheeda isn't buying it after confronting Kirk's lies and dishonesty for all these years. Finally, she's getting close to her breaking. She has tried and shown patience. That's the point. To provide for her family's necessities, even if one can only take so much at once. For the second time, Kirk is exceeded a limit Rasheeda was unable to ignore.
Honestly, let me say this. Me and you haven't really had any type of communication like this ever before. I feel like maybe me and you need to open up a communication line instead of me and him. Maybe it will be better that way.
You just told me my husband trying to you, and then you telling me you want to open up a communication line with me?
I mean...
Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm done.
Fans are quite enraged with Kirk. Social media has been exploding since Jasmine's second pregnancy was revealed. And believe me, people are not holding back. Someone on Reddit said, Kirk is the kind of man to ruin a good thing just because he is bored, while another person added that people are not holding back. This cycle needs to stop since Kirk doesn't deserve her, and Jasmine obviously doesn't care about tearing up their entire family, but the resentment toward Kirk is audible, and clearly fans have been saying things like, Rasheeda, you deserve peace and you've given him enough chances. It's time to choose yourself. It's evident that people genuinely want to see Rasheeda happy, and after everything she has been through, it's difficult not to cheer for her. Will Rasheeda actually file for divorce this time? That's the key question, but it appears as though Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage may be permanently over at this time. After more than 2 decades of highs and lows, adultery, and public humiliation from Kirk, how much more can Rasheeda take? It's understandable that she would want to leave. The fact is that Rasheeda has given Kirk a lot of chances over the years, and every time he looks to screw things up again, she has to go through a lot. More than most people could ever put up with in a marriage, and it's obvious that she can't take any more of this new treachery. It's one thing to try and forgive someone once, but twice with the same person, that's a lot for anyone to handle, especially when it's all play. Rasheeda has always been the strong one, trying to keep their family together and work through the issues. But how do you move forward when the same thing keeps happening? It's not easy to end a marriage after 25 years, but sometimes you have to do what's best for your own peace and happiness. Of course, everyone always wonders if Rasheeda will actually follow through on it. Based on what we've seen and heard online, it appears that she is ready to focus on herself, her business, and her family. Insiders claim that she is considering getting a divorce, but as we all know, nothing has been proven as of yet. That ending a marriage, especially one that has lasted this long, is not an easy choice. Children, businesses, and years of shared history must be considered. It's not enough to simply walk away. You also need to decide if the relationship is worth preserving or if it's time to move on permanently. That's where things become tricky because despite her prior hurts and betrayals, Rasheeda has always attempted to make things work. Will she do so again? Or is this really the end of what we're seeing? This time, fans are really seeing through Kirk's pretenses. Everyone knows that his actions have destroyed his marriage. People are over it, and they are hearing that she has reached her breaking point. But until we see those divorce papers, anything is possible. But what about Kirk? He is over here trying to justify his actions by claiming that he has been unhappy for a long time. But really, that just feels like another excuse. Want to see Rasheeda move on? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our newest videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Should Rasheeda finally leave Kirk for good? Or do you think there's a chance they could work things out? A celebrity strike